Hi everybody, it's Andi. As promised, I'm back today. I finally got around to packing my hospital bag. So I'm ready to go to the hospital if anything starts to happen. My due date's about a week away, so we're ready to go. So I'm gonna unpack it and go through everything that I have in here with you guys. And hopefully it's helpful. It definitely is a lot lighter this time around with this pregnancy compared to my first pregnancy. So hopefully these kind of essential items will help especially new moms kind of whittle through what they really need versus what's kind of just nice to have. All right, so there's a bunch of stuff that I pack. A water bottle. This is kind of personal preference because they definitely have plenty of water at the hospital, but usually it's those big styrofoam cups. So I just feel a little bit better if I have my own reusable water bottle to kind of drink plenty of water postpartum after delivery. So I have that. I brought a couple outfits for the baby. One that's a little bit bigger than the other one, just depending on the sizing, because you never really know exactly what size they'll be when they are born. So, and these are primarily just to go home in. I typically keep the baby in the clothes and the swaddle that they have at the hospital, and I just really use these to travel home in. The important thing is that they have feet so that the car seat can get through their legs so that they're safe on the car ride home. All right, so for downtime, I love to read, but I'm actually working on this project right now, a needlepoint birth announcement for the baby. I made one of these for my first, and so I'm making another one for this baby. So I just brought this as something kind of fun to do when there's a little bit of downtime and I'm just laying in bed with, you know, not necessarily bored, but if I wanted something to kind of occupy my time a little bit. So I've got this handy with all my materials. And then I typically wear contacts, but I always do bring a pair of my glasses with me to the hospital. I have plenty of contacts in my toiletry kit that I'll show you. But my glasses sometimes, if it's late at night or I just haven't been sleeping that much, my glasses are a little bit more comfortable to be wearing. So this way, I can see if I need to, especially in the middle of the night, and take them on and off for those nice middle of the night feedings. What else do we have in here? I'm trying to kind of go through it organized for you guys. I brought a couple snacks. Just like a couple bars in the off chance that I'm kind of high and dry and just need something to hold me over. Usually I have my husband bring me lots of food, like a hoagie and some sushi, things that I haven't had to eat in a while. So I'm sure hopefully he'll do that again for me. And some tissues, because hospital tissues are kind of icky. So I like to have a couple of my own in case I need them. All right, let's get into clothes. So I brought just for if while I'm at the hospital I want something to wear. I usually stay in my nightgown primarily, but I have these airplane pajama pants that I got when I went on my honeymoon that are just kind of big and oversized that I don't care so much about. So I'm gonna bring these and just a really plain nursing tank. So it has like a built-in bra and it's nursing friendly because it clips off so you can nurse while you're wearing it if I feel like I want to get into some real clothes while I'm there. And for over top, just for layering, because sometimes you're hot, sometimes you're cold, your hormones are still normalizing so you can kind of be all over the place. I have this just like really big oversized sweater that's just nice and open so I can kind of wrap up in it or nurse in it. It's really easy to wear and it's nice and cozy. It's kind of like a blanket. For footwear at the hospital, I've got a couple things. I did bring like an extra pair of nice and fuzzy socks because sometimes I find that the hospital socks are just a little tight around my feet, although usually I end up wearing those most of the time because they have the grippies on the bottom and you can kind of walk around and not feel too weird about it. But I have these just in case. And then I brought a pair of slippers and you'll see kind of stuck in there, a pair of flip-flops for the shower. So just I got these slippers at Target. I think they were like $5 or $6, and they have like a hard sole. They're just kind of comfy, cozy for walking around if I want to get up out of bed. And then I have just an outfit to go home in. So I have my outfit for my baby, of course, but I also just brought an outfit for myself. So I have just a pair of black leggings, another nursing tank, depending on how hot or cold I am, or how hot or cold it is outside, a long sleeve maternity shirt that's kind of just stretchy. This is like an athletic shirt that I got with my last pregnancy that I love. It's just really comfortable. And if I end up just wearing the shirt, I also brought a nursing bra. So this is just like a really, really comfortable bra that I got that's nursing friendly. So I've got that as well. And some underwear, of course. But usually I'm in the hospital underwear, so, because I still don't want to ruin any of mine. So I've got that to go home in, and importantly, I have some pads for my nipples. So I didn't leak a lot at the very beginning of breastfeeding with my first, but sometimes with subsequent pregnancies, because your body's already been through that process before, you might notice that your supply is greater, or your body's more used to it, so you're already kind of in that phase and getting going, so you're able to supply like kind of more right away. So I wanted to make sure to bring these because once I was in the throes of breastfeeding, I definitely did leak a lot. So these are just nipple pads that you put inside your bra that catch any spillage so that you're not soaking through and making your clothes wet. So they're really nice. They're really soft and nice against any, coarse skin, or if you have any like rashes or anything like that with initial breastfeeding. So I really like them, and they come in big handy. And then for kind of the big thing, it looks little, but this is kind of like my holy grail of pregnancy packing. I always like to have some face wipes because sometimes you just don't want to get out of bed and you just want to freshen up a little bit. So I always bring some face wipes. And then my toiletry kit, which I'm gonna kind of further unpack for you guys because there's a lot of important things that I stuff into this little guy. So you can kind of get a good idea from what I've got in here. But there's a whole bunch of stuff that I get into here that's things that just make me feel a little bit more like myself on a day-to-day basis. I talked about how I wear glasses, but I've got my contacts in case I need those. I have some deodorant because it gets sweaty in there. You start to feel a little icky, so it's nice to smell like yourself. I've got a toothbrush and toothpaste so that I can not use the hospital toothbrush especially because those are kind of hard on my gums. So I really like having my own toothbrush. So I also bring my Clary Balm. I've been using it during pregnancy on my lips because I get really chapped lips during pregnancy. So I'll certainly be using it for that in the hospital because you can get really dried out there as well. But also it's great for use on your nipples if you have any cracked skin or dry skin on your nipples for breastfeeding, and it's breastfeeding safe. So this is a really important one that I made sure to pack this time around. A little hairbrush because we all need to brush our hair. All right, so that's the one side. Let's look at this other side. I brought my a bunch of my Binto packs because I really like to stay on my routine, especially immediately postpartum. My probiotic, that's like my number one that I really don't want to give up because I'm sure you've heard people talk about that first poop after pregnancy and how scary it is. I have to say with my last delivery, I didn't have any problems with it and it was really smooth and not traumatic for me. And I really attribute it to being on this probiotic. So I made sure to pack plenty, so I have that for the hospital stay. I have just some shampoo and conditioner in here and like my normal face lotion and all of that. But the last important thing I have is my Binto belly oil. I just love this for kind of like part of my nighttime routine. I usually take it with my supplements and I wind down the evening with it, but my skin, immediately postpartum is then gonna have to do so much work to kind of start to get back to normal. So I'm planning to use this even postpartum to help my skin and the elasticity of my skin and make sure that my body is getting everything that it needs to kind of heal both inside and out. So I've got this all packed as well. The only things that aren't in here yet that I'm gonna be adding are my cell phone charger, which I'm still using because it's plugged in by my bed, and my pillow, which I always bring with me. It's like my little comfort item that makes me feel so much better when I'm sleeping. So, because I sleep with it every night, it'll just be either me remembering to bring it when the time comes or making sure my husband brings it when he shows up. But those are the only two things missing from what I plan to have at the hospital with me. So I hope all of this was helpful for you guys. If you think I forgot anything, or if there's anything that you didn't think of that I included that you really love, just let us know, leave a comment, and we wish everybody the best of luck with their deliveries.